Thanks for coming round. We'll make you laugh before you go. Welcome to the Mermen. Welcome to the show.
Ready?
Forget we have to do this.
Forget. I look forward to it. It's my favorite part of the podcast. I get to blow in a conch shell.
I don't know where his name is Michael. I'm not going to say his last name so people don't look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But
hey, you got Chick-fil-A cards for us.
Chick-fil-A, I already gave Louise his. There's some sandwiches.
Are those all for me?
Yeah, some sandwiches, milkshakes, and also some desserts.
Nice.
There you go. That's yours.
This is going to be really exciting.
Chick-fil-A. They need advertising.
Yeah.
And we're the podcast to do it. This podcast is sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
Whoa, this card says I can open any Chick-fil-A on a Sunday.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that goes to church. It's your fault.
Luis, I'll trade you all of my ones that say free peppermint chip milkshake for sandwich ones.
Hold on. If you flip the peppermint milkshakes over, read substitute.
Substitute.
For any flavor milkshake.
I don't know.
So it's still milkshakes, but also there's coffees on there. There's only a few sandwiches in there. Those are, you know. And
wait a minute. Yeah, wait. This is like handing me a stack of $100 bills and finding out that most of them are fives.
Why?
Only the first two are under, because the chicken sandwich is where the value. That's what's exciting.
Yeah, but this is what he sent me. What do you?
Ungrateful.
Yeah. This is the amount you were getting in there originally.
I'm not saying it's anyone's fault.
This is the fucking amount you were getting originally.
I know, but you just held it up like, guess what I have for you? And I was like, whoa, it's a big stack of sandwiches.
Spread them out, and then I just told you it was in there.
I mean,
give them back. You don't get any of these.
I want them all.
You don't get any.
Yeah, you can have the brownie ones.
Michael, sorry that he's ungrateful.
Michael, these are awesome.
Yeah.
Can I have 30 more of the Chick-fil-A sandwich ones?
No, you can't. Stop bothering him. He unsubscribed anyways. I told him.
Pretty stoked. Well, today's a special day for many reasons. Can you guess what another one is?
We're recording at night, so you're going to get drunk?
Not just any drunk. And I've already had a few beers, just so you know. We got beers from Australia, courtesy of our pal Richard.
Yeah, he's not dead.
He's very much alive. And also somehow figured out how to ship beer across the world, which I didn't know.
I think he just did.
Can you believe he got these all the way across the flat earth? That's crazy.
Yeah. I think he just did it.
I think he just did it. All right, let's see what we got here. This is a company called, are they all the same brewery? These three look the same, right? No, this one looks different.
Oh, I see what you did. This is like $100 bill in here, and you want the yellow one. What? Right. With Chick-fil-A.
This is a place called Capital Brewing Co.
It's all in Australia?
Yeah, these are all Australian.
What city?
I bet it says so on here somewhere.
Let me put my reading glasses on. Right. Look cool now.
How many did he send you?
Wait a minute, guys. Pregnancy warning. Alcohol can cause lifelong harm to your baby. Yee.
Yeah.
That's the last time I have beers with a baby.
Balter Brewing Traders Way.
Hot Red Brews.
Oh, it's in Queensland.
Queensland. So we got a Hang Loose Juice Hazy IPA. That sounds like a good one. Rock Hopper West Coast IPA. And then this looks like a different brewery, I'm guessing.
How many did you bring? You have a big cooler in that.
Well, he's holding out just like the Chick-fil-A cards.
He sent us 4. These are the 4 different kinds he brought, and I brought 3 of each.
It just looks like a big cooler with a lot of big chunks of ice.
Well, the ice is why I was 9 minutes late, is because...
And they're all IPAs?
Yeah, looks like hazy IPA.
How do people like IPAs so much?
They're so good, bro.
This just says made in Australia. That one says Queensland, so...
in my freezer, I have this tray.
This one sounds good. It has like orange or something on it.
Blood
orange.
In the tray is where we put the ice tray. Mm-hmm. And just over the years of me spilling water as I put it back in, there's now a sheet of ice at the bottom of that tray. And I didn't realize it was like literally this thick. Mm. And so I was out of ice, so I just broke that to use it. And it was really aggressive.
Yeah, cool story.
Looks like a glacier.
Pour the beer.
It was. It was like what Rose from the Titanic survived on.
This one smells okay.
Which one are you starting with? I want to start with the same one.
Blood orange.
Do you want the whole one or do you want to split it?
What are these These glasses look dusty.
Yeah, well, I just got a new dishwasher, and this was in the old dishwasher.
Okay.
But they're clean. They're
all right, yeah,
totally.
we'll start with these.
All right. I mean, I'll drink a whole one if you want. I just know you don't drink a lot of beers. That's not how you pour a beer, bro.
That is how you pour a beer.
Brother.
Well, hold on a second.
You need the head because of the fermentation and the oxygen and now you got to wait 20 minutes for that.
Because then it doesn't bubble up in your stomach. There's millions of fucking shit online about this. Scientists have studied this. This is how you pour it.
Can I tell you look cool pouring a beer?
I don't know. With no head, then it bubbles in your stomach. Psh. Do you want to see a fucking video right now?
Bubbles in your stomach.
I have seen this video, and it did kind of change my whole outlook.
Yeah,
on
you
it.
pour yours
I'll do it the other way, and we'll see whose stomach's more bubbly at the end of the night.
It won't be yours because you're a Men in Black alien that beer gives energy to, and then it goes into your gullet somewhere, and the little guy that controls you in your head is like, "Ooh, beer, put that over in this pocket. It doesn't even affect me." Yeah.
You go ahead and drink all that foam and see how not bubbly your stomach is. Hey, cheers to Richard. Still being alive.
Thanks, Richard. This is gross.
Luis, you want to try this one?
Yeah, sure.
Here.
That one's okay because it has the blood orange. I can taste it. It's good.
There's blood in the water. You want to see a cool?
I do that to my dog sometimes because my dog will come up and something, and I go,
Oh, I like doing that too. Yeah.
How's it feel? You like it?
Yeah, I do that too. I like that.
Doesn't affect them at all, but I do it.
Hey, let me show you this. I also go to a brewing co. Speaking of beers,
Yeah.
just they name their beers usually about things around town.
Where's the cord for our phones?
Oh, it's over.
Fucking guy goes on a trip.
And the historic pool in our town is called the Plunge, and they just came up with a beer called the Hop Plunge. Mm-hmm. And then look what they used to describe the pool in the front.
Water polo?
A water polo player.
Yeah.
Thought that was cool.
Yeah. How to pour a beer to avoid bloating.
CIF championship water polo player.
Look at this.
Wow. You about to blow my mind, bro?
Nah, this is an ad for Zegardit OTC.
A what?
I don't know. They're a sponsor of our podcast too.
Oh, Zegardit.
Many people think that if you have beer with a lot of foam, that's a bad pour.
Yeah.
Some people might even send it back.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Actually,
Winners.
a little foam can prevent a bloated beer belly.
By the way, this is a physician, Travis Stork.
Sounds legit.
Interestingly, no foam beer means the CO2 in the beer has nowhere to escape to.
Yeah.
So the carbon dioxide goes straight into your stomach, where then it'll lead you feeling bloaty, maybe even a little gassy.
Yeah.
So that CO2 released in your body
And
could be as high
God
as
knows from our trip to Florida, you never fart. You're never gassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.5
Myth
times the
busted.
volume of the beer that you've just had. Think about that. That's why I was just telling
What-
you, right?
what was that?
I like to have two released in your body.
There you go.
Could be as high as 2.5 times the volume of the beer that
Yeah.
you've just had. Think about that. That's
Yeah.
why I was just telling
Nice
you,
light
right?
beer.
I like to have less beer, the higher alcohol double IPAs, because it
Attaboy.
avoids the bloat. But who
a
knew?
man.
If you pour, what you really want ideally is about an inch. An inch of foam. So the
what
head
you're
should be
saying
what I
is
had.
that the
And then you
foam is
drink
gonna
the
be
foam,
there
or you just
instead
have
of
to
in your
wait?
stomach, so you sip
You wait like a fucking human being for 2 seconds while it goes, I don't have any foam here anymore.
You do the nose grease thing?
What nose grease?
Here, well,
thing?
let me show you.
If you put your finger in my beer, I'll dump it on you. Podcast over. Were you gonna stick?
I was wondering how
you were
long-
gonna, you were
how
gonna stick
far
your
is it let me
finger in
go?
my beer? I don't care if you just washed your hands. I don't want you to stick your finger in my beer. Like,
No, I just my nose grease is clean.
it's clean. You've had it tested.
Yeah, it's good. It's
You want to
legit.
keep here listening to this guy? Or you believe-
No, I mean I could have already told you what he was going to say before he said it.
Like, okay. Like, all right.
How good is beer, huh?
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah. Luis, what do you think of that one?
Honestly, I mean, it is good. It is good, but all IPAs are pretty much the same to me.
Amazing.
Yeah, why do you like IPAs?
I don't know, man. I think it's like when
I've asked this 20 times on this podcast.
yeah. For me, well, at first it was the experience, and now just I've like really acquired the taste and enjoy the taste of it.
Yeah, but you drink
But-
so many.
It's so good.
Like if it was really hot out, like if I mowed the lawn and it was super hot, I could
Hazy IPA.
I get down like 2
Hazy
Coors Lights
IPA,
in like
yeah.
a second because it's just like water, you know?
But that was the thing is when I moved out here and got introduced to IPAs, I drank like Bud Lights and things like that my whole life, right? So I guess it's kind of like a weed smoker where like a weed smoker, I was always jealous. Like beer like was just the same across the board for me. But weed smokers were like happy when they were like, oh, I got a strong buzz or different. There's different kinds of buzzes.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to say anything remotely.
Yeah. And then like I drink an IPA and it was like,
but you didn't have any words.
No, I don't know any verbiage for dank.
It was dank. Dank buds.
So the IPAs, I was like, it was like smoking a joint that was hard. It was like, ooh, I got to put this shit down. Yeah, like I'm feeling it. Like right, I had to drink like 2, and I'm like, I can't drive home. I got to get an Uber, leave my car here. Like, you know? So it was just a new experience. So it was the experience of having some variety.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, I'm really gassy.
I'm not. It's weird.
That's good.
I haven't burped once.
I just had dinner.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I just had dinner.
Well, by the way, before that burp that people could hear, you've been doing the thing where you're burping but not making it audible. You're like,
I do that?
Yeah, you're like, that's when you're trying not to burp. But
I've started doing that on the microphone during shows. Or like, I got like a burp in my
Trust me, you're doing it more than you fucking think. You do it on this podcast all the time. How many times does he burp on this podcast, Louise? What do you, over, under? Like...
The amount of like editing I sometimes have to do, and I don't catch them all because
how do you know they're me though? Forever. Could be anybody.
Because I don't do it. Because sometimes when I cough or something, I go over here away from the microphone.
I hit the button.
When you're eating something, you go into the microphone. You lean in. Like I'll go way over here and I'll be like, all right, and I know when I'm making a noise. I'll rattle the ice just to annoy Louise or something. That's pretty good actually. That's the way you're supposed to pour it. Good job. A lot of foam. That was very ASMR. Yeah. Look at that. That's.
Do you know how pissed I'd be if a bartender handed me that?
Yeah. But you wait for the foam to die down,
and then they better keep filling.
I've seen them in bars do that, like in England and stuff like that. They let it go down, like Guinness and stuff like that. You know.
I'm just saying, it better.
It better go down the foam. You think it's gonna stay like that forever?
Should I nose grease it?
Yeah, nose grease it.
Do you think that works?
Oh God!
Here he goes, rubbing his nose, sticks it in the foam. No,
aren't you supposed to rub it? Where you're just
it didn't work. Now you're just
look. It's working.
You're fingering your beer right
it's
now.
Working.
You're going in and out of the foam. Wow, you get great technique.
It's working, dude. We're gonna. This is gonna be the Mermen guide to how to drink a beer like a gentleman.
Did you open a new beer?
Yeah.
Which one? You just brought another beer onto the table?
Yeah, cold one, the hazy.
You drank the other one already?
Yeah. Well, it was just a little sampler. We split it 3 ways.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a little bit.
There you go.
Here, and then I'll pour it like this. There you go.
Nice.
Second quarter.
All right. Anyways, now you know how to pour beer.
Thanks, buddy.
Since you're a beer drinker.
I never knew. I learned something. This podcast is so educational.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we had a lot of people were. We have more listeners last week, or
we were talking about conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah, but
speaking of conspiracies,
how did they find you? Like, we didn't advertise it. Like, I mean, we did
algorithms, dog, words, keywords.
We did have
I didn't know that part of the ship was broken.
A metaphor for this podcast is a ship.
We have a repeat like listener and fan that like usually comments on our YouTube videos. And they commented on that conspiracy theory saying, damn it, the title of this podcast screwed with my algorithm. So I think their whole YouTube is now just crazy, like flat earth.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Mine's all... So this is Comedy Records.
Yeah.
Barry and Tim. They listen to all the podcasts.
Essentially our sponsors.
Not essentially. They are.
They're our financiers.
Comedy is completely sponsored by Comedy Records.
If you want to watch us on YouTube, go to the Comedy Records YouTube page. YouTube.
Tim really liked the episode. I think he said it was one of his favorites.
Thanks, Tim.
I don't know. Maybe this was a different one. Oh wait, that was a different one. Sorry, wasn't his favorite one. That was way far back.
Okay. Oh, yeah, here it is. Not my favorite.
Barry liked it, but anyways, I'm walking up right now. We're recording this late at night, the night before it comes out. And Barry did not know we were recording it, and he just wrote this. Also, your anti-conspiracy stance is wild. Flat Earth is one thing. What is my stance? That they all suck? I think I said there are some.
Oh, I can't remember.
He goes, Flat Earth is one thing, but JFK or 9/11 official stories are laughable. I'll die on that hill. And I said, wait, you think 9/11 was an inside job? And he goes, I have no idea what actually happened, but I definitely believe the official explanation.
I do have a hard time.
I don't know if the planes hit the building. We're all agreeing on that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the controversy that's rational is maybe the details surrounding around them hitting the building, not whether they did or did not.
What details? They flew into the building. Like, who flew them in?
Yes.
What do you think? Okay, good. I'm glad you're questioning it too.
No, I'm not. I'm playing devil's advocate here. But
I'm asking you to explain the advocacy of your devils.
I think what somebody like that is saying is, was the government involved? Did they fund it?
No.
Was there more to it than just the planes? Like, were there bombs in the building? Things like that. Details surrounding the event happening.
Let me tell you something. I've never watched
took his glasses off.
The fucking conspiracy theory behind 9/11 because I'm like, I don't even have time to watch this bullshit.
Yeah.
So I put together. So wait, you're telling me that one of the conspiracies is they put bombs inside of the building?
Yes.
Because they wanted to collapse the building.
Because everyone said jet fuel can't melt a building like that. There had to be more.
Jesse Ventura said that, who's, holding on to fucking Crypt Keeper hair on top of his head. But the thermite paint or whatever he fucking keeps saying. So you're telling me they're like, we got to take these buildings down. That was the plan, right?
Yeah.
So how do we do it? Bombs. But we got to find some other, we can't just blow them up, right?
True.
Why not?
Yeah, man.
What, you could have just said terrorists blew it up with bombs.
Nah, but I think they're saying that the bombs or the planes, the match.
Why? Because previous to that, terrorists did try to blow up the World Trade Center with bombs, and it didn't work.
All right,
so why not just blow them up with the bombs and say it was terrorists?
All right. So I got another one. Because
no, don't move on. I'm asking you this right now.
I don't have the answer. I'm trying to come up with it on the spot.
I'm asking everybody this. If there were bombs inside of there to take it down, why not just blow them up with bombs and say terrorists did that?
Maybe they were trying to take down the airline industry at the same time.
Yeah, it didn't work. It made it more expensive. I don't know if you've flown recently, and all the planes are packed.
I did. I flew a lot recently.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, maybe it was the rewards program.
I was just doing
those are really bad.
I was just doing casino gigs in North Carolina. I want to talk to you about.
Okay, we'll talk about that. So 9/11 inside job. So the plane, like this is where I get confused by it when they're like, but the government was behind it because here's the thing is like. First of all, I've worked for the government. I worked for county government. I worked for the state. I worked in federal. I worked with all of them. There's no secrets to be kept that way. No, not this long. And I know there was this person that knows something. Well, fucking show me their book. Show me their interview. Like, I haven't seen these people. There's no way that this conspiracy be covered up that much. Now, if you're saying, hey, it was to promote the war so that they could get into this war and make a lot of money and stuff, you're saying that's the reason behind the conspiracy, fine, but why would there be bombs and an airplane? And also, why would the government say, hey, let's kill, what was it, like, I forget now, 3,000 people or something like that, like, and kill later on all these firefighters and first responders that died from cancer and all these other diseases from the fucking debris and
terrible stuff.
So let's kill all these people so they can get in this war when you can easily get into a war much easier than that if you're the government. You don't have to fucking take down buildings and kill these people. This is my question. JFK.
Blown away. What more do I have to say?
JFK, I don't know. Is maybe there was a conspiracy to kill him. Paste. I don't know. So maybe that is one, but I didn't say all of them. But I don't.
Oh,
what's that? What happened?
You just gurgled.
Oh, did I?
You got a little gas over there. Conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. Myth busted. My foam is equal to your foam.
But I guess I'm going to do a blanket statement and just say fuck them all is what I said because like the reason I'm going to say that is because it's too much damage to agree with some and then not other ones. Mm-hmm. It's like the vaccine thing where they're like, the pharmaceutical companies are there to make money. Nobody disagrees with that. Nobody disagrees with pharmaceutical. But to say that's the reason and there's COVID and the vaccine, it's like, fuck off. No, we all know that they're greedy and they're trying to make a lot of money. But
Yeah,
they didn't create COVID to make vaccines. Just shut up.
Did you see this one? Did you see? Oh, I got a new one.
I'm saying COVID wasn't made in a lab. It was trying to be weaponized. It got out fine. That's fine if you want to say that kind of shit. But again, even then, I tend to say, hey, let's not go with any conspiracy theories because you know what? It's not going to affect your life one way or another. No one's ever uncovered a conspiracy theory and then the government's been like, we're sorry. Here's reparations. You're fucked anyways. So just go along with it. Like, you're fucked.
To your point, the Miami Herald, which is supposed to be an actual newspaper.
We've already discussed the Miami Herald, how bad it is.
Yeah.
Remember the route? It was like something for the,
So,
what that was now.
So they had an article about how during Dolly Parton's, first of all, did you see Dolly Parton during the Thanksgiving game day?
Sidebar, I did. And I also see that you put Jack Harlow on your Instagram and said, who's this guy?
Yeah, no idea. I thought it was an Old Navy commercial. I was like, this is the oldest Old Navy or longest Old Navy commercial I've ever seen.
I'm not saying Jack Harlow is the most famous musician, but he's very famous. There's a very funny video of NBA officials saying, just like you, who the fuck's this guy that they have on the TV? And you want to know anything about Jack Harlow? He has a song called Tyler Hero.
I do know that.
Who is your son's favorite player?
Because
but they're both from Kentucky, and he's in the video. So just that alone, you should know who Jack Harlow is.
But I didn't visually. He was wearing Winter Wonderland gear.
He's doing a Thanksgiving NFL halftime show, and you're like, "Who's this fucking loser?" Right here.
No idea.
Just look him up. He's apparently somebody if he's doing the halftime show.
Funny enough, you guys weren't there to chuckle with me, but one of my wife's relatives goes, "Is that Bad Bunny?" And I was like, bless your heart.
Yeah. You had that one up. You're like, this person doesn't know shit. Anyways, who is this?
I go, I know who Bad Bunny is. Look, I
don't know who this is, but it's not Bad Bunny.
That I can assure you.
Look, Bad Bunny's way more famous than Jack Harlow, so you're doing good.
You know who's more famous? Dolly Parton in little tiny shorts.
I agree, Dolly Parton.
Hello.
Yeah. You give her one?
She can still get it, bro.
You give her one.
How old is she?
She's got to be 70-something, right?
Yeah. In her 70s.
She's looking beautiful. So the Miami Herald wrote an article, and they thought it was news to say that some people were upset with Dolly Parton's. What was that?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Are you getting hammered over there?
Dolly 77, by the way.
Hey, you want another beer?
Sure.
Luis, you ready?
Yeah.
You want a full one or you want to finish this hazy?
I'll finish it.
All right.
Thanks.
Give me the burp.
So somebody said that
was a sneeze.
They were citing tweets from people that were randoms. It was like the lead singer of August Comes Tomorrow, and I'm like, well, I don't think that's just because I'm an idiot and don't know bands. Like no one's heard of that band. Like tweeted that, okay, Dolly, hope you're glad that the $1 million you gave the vaccine research went to a vaccine that it's now killing people because of myocarditis or whatever. And I'm like, and then it cited all these other people who were like digging on her too. And it's like, first of all, Dolly Parton as an artist doing a halftime show has nothing to do with any philanthropic. I'm not going to try that one again. Philanthropic.
There you go. You did. That's good.
There you go. Things she might have done, but even if the $1 million, let's just say the vaccine does murder people. Let's go down that road. Her giving $1 million to try to find a cure when we needed it does not make her a bad person. That makes she tried 100 times, million times harder than you did behind your fucking keyboard tweeting to try to do something about it. So you can't fault her for it now. Really, really
also,
sizzled my britches.
She can do whatever she wants to with her money.
Also, she could care less about these people. The fact that the Miami Herald thought that was news made me mad.
Here's the thing about that, too, okay? Like you said, let's say that you think that she is on the wrong side of that. She didn't make the donation to be on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, she was trying to help.
Historically, she has made donations on the right side of things.
Think about how bad the vaccine would be if they didn't have the funding from kind people like that.
Yeah, that'd be like fucking IPA cut into it. And
maybe that would help.
Yeah, and if you look at like what she's done charitably, like through time and stuff, like
that's the other thing. Use people's sample size of their body of work when you're making opinions like this.
Doesn't she like donate money to like all these like high school marching bands and fund all their equipment,
puppies and all kinds of stuff,
like all these really like in these poor areas. Like she buys all the instruments for them, and like she's got libraries everywhere, and she's like supports like all sorts of, what do you call it, like. Cause. I'm trying to think of the
gay
word.
rights and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Which some people would think you're on the wrong side of that too, but that's her. You know, if you see the documentaries of her too, it's like the shit she had to go through to get to where she's at. You know, especially being like a woman in that industry and stuff. It's like fuck off. So you give her one, huh? 77.
She looked beautiful.
Yeah, she looked great. I don't think she probably has sex anymore.
What? You think you stop having sex?
I don't know. I think you need a lot of lube.
I think that I've heard. You want to try this one?
Just a little sip. Here,
You want pour it? Or
No, I don't want your dumb pour.
This last one's great, by the way.
Which one?
It's hazy.
Yeah, we got more of them, buddy. Let me know if you want to crack another one.
What's this one?
It just says IPA.
Balter.
With enjoyment. 375 milliliters, because that's the unit of measurement they use in Australia. Pregnancy warning. Alcohol can cause
whole world,
lifelong
you mean?
harm to your baby.
They use it everywhere. Milliliters.
Something tells me
They
Australians.
use it here too.
Something tells me that there's some Australians out in the outback that are just like, that they had to put that label in there for a reason.
Yeah.
They're just like, we'll just have a light beer.
Like beer.
Easy. Here you go, baby. Come on down.
Keep going.
You feel like you're kicking. You need a little settling. Here's a little light beer, Foster's.
You know, there's no one drinks Foster's.
Dave Williamson.
What about
Yeah, well,
Outback
you should have
Steakhouse?
been doing a million of these tonight.
Yeah.
First, there's obviously no Outback Steakhouse, but or Blooming Onions or any of that shit. But you can't find Foster's anywhere. At least I don't remember seeing
Can you
it.
imagine someone going over to Australia excited to try the blooming onion and then being like, there's no blooming onions anywhere. What the fuck are the onions?
Yeah, no. Honestly, I mean, Australian listeners, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing Foster's anywhere in Australia. And I went to a lot of bars.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a real beer or something they fucking...
Have I told you before that my parents are obsessed with Outback Steakhouse?
Is there Coronas in Mexico? I feel like it's always Pacifico and... What's the other one?
Victoria?
Yeah, that one.
Modelo?
Yeah.
I don't see really a lot of Coronas in Mexico.
They're still popular. Yeah.
They have it down there for Americans.
I really
to buy.
like Pacifico. What's the other one that comes in a clear bottle?
Estrella, maybe.
Yeah, that one maybe. I like those. Yeah, fucking. How did Corona get so popular?
Corona? Good marketing, bro.
But it is kind of like the standard over there. Like that's what everyone kind of like goes to.
What were we talking about? Conspiracy theories? Yeah, conspiracy theories. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Conspiracy because then you went on
Dolly Parton, Australia.
Vaccine, yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, have I ever told you that my parents are obsessed with Outback Steakhouse?
I want to put this out there. I'll fight anybody on a conspiracy theories. You put it this way: anybody that wants to call in live,
Dang, dude.
you got it, dude. I'll battle you.
That's a gauntlet.
Yeah. And anyone wants to explain to me the bomb fucking scenario of 9/11 and planes, please feel free to explain how that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Terrorists literally tried to bomb the World Trade Center like 10 or 11 years before that.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they just do it again and be like, yeah, we're terrorists, we bombed it, instead of like, we'll put the bombs on, then we'll hit the planes, and once the planes hit, wait for the second one, and then we'll bomb it, and then you run away real fast.
All right, here's a
Shut
question.
up.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
It obviously worked, right? The towers fell.
Sure.
How researched do you think they were? Were they like, dude, if we got to hit it at a specific level, or were they just like, we're just hit the plane with the building and see what happens? Do you think they kind of knew that plane would? Do they have like actual people with knowledge in their camp going?
I don't know.
Or are they just like, we're gonna hit it with a plane? That should work.
My opinion is they just were going to hit him with planes.
Just see what happens.
Because it's just that alone was shocking. You know what I'm saying? When that happened, when it fell, it was like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't believe that they thought, hey, if we hit it with planes, the whole building will collapse. But I don't know anything about architecture or physics or anything like that. But wherever those planes hit, the building was hollow basically there. Is what I'm assuming, because it just blew it, you know? And then you just have like this hole there that eventually everything would fall into. And then it just collapses down. Like, that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think people can process how much that weighs, you know, and it's coming down and stuff. And I don't even know what the fires or any of that stuff's doing. Like, you know, I don't know. But because here's a fucking thing that I think is hilarious too, where they're like, oh, well, they can't melt metal. And then in Maui, the conspiracy theories, if it was fire, it would melt the metal and then the tires. And they have the reverse thing going on. It's like, bro,
trees.
You know how much weird shit happens that you're just like, wow, how the fuck did that happen? You know, like that we just accept because just natural forces and things that we don't know. And yeah, but I don't know.
How you liking
People,
that beer?
people seem to know about. I don't like any of these. But thank you again for sending them.
Well, are we in a new quarter yet?
Yeah, we're in the third now.
Third quarter.
There it is.
Fight me.
like how Luis does his job and we remind him of it.
Yeah, he doesn't put any drops in. He's like, give me another beer. Fucking
Forrest
asshole.
Shaw.
Yeah, go do it again. I don't give a fuck.
Forrest Shaw.
Yeah, do yours.
I have to change the page.
Like to change the page?
Luis Castillo.
Lewis. Idiot. Stupid.
Dummy.
What were you going to say? Your shows in Cherokee you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I did a gig in Cherokee, North Carolina.
On Native American ground?
Yes.
You told your tales?
I did. My stories.
on the graves?
First of all, from a personal standpoint, very enjoyable week because it's beautiful there. Perfect time of year.
Yeah,
Weather was great.
A lot of dead engines.
A couple of my boys came and hung out, danced on graves with me. No, we played golf at Sequoia. It was beautiful. Every single tee box.
How's there a place called Sequoia? There's no Sequoias there.
There's Sequoia National Forest.
With Sequoia trees?
I just know what it's called. I'm pretty sure I'm getting that right. You want me to look it up?
Yeah, I know. I didn't know this. There might be. I just didn't know there's Sequoias over there.
Yeah.
It's one of the only words.
Where do you
with all
think
the vowels.
sequoias are?
Right here. I've seen them in California. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the north, there's.
Sequoia National Park
Yeah, it's in. Yeah.
is in.
Sequoia trees.
Sequoia National Park's in California.
Yeah. Giant sequoias grow only on the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada in California. Those are the giant ones. I don't know. So,
Hold on.
Yeah. I don't. I wasn't trying to say you're wrong. I just was like, wow.
Wait,
sequoias-
is it maybe this is spelled different? It's Sequoia National Golf Club. SEQUOUYAH.
Yeah, the H is weird.
I think that might.
That's a Native American.
That's
name.
the tribe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's like, yeah, it might be Sequoia then. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Learn something.
But it was one of those golf courses where the golf carts were all like gas powered, and it sounded like
Yeah.
go-karts all over because it was like such an incline to get to the tee box of every hole. Like, I almost flipped one.
That's in the Smoky Mountains there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
and
Smoky
so
Mountains are cool.
my boys and I go in the casino, and the casino's a little tight. Seemed like a real tight casino.
What do you mean tight?
Like they charge you for the drinks that come around.
Oh, yeah. When you get outside
And
of
then-
Vegas, they're all like that, though.
And every single person I talked to was like, man, I'm really losing money this week. And it just seemed like nobody was winning. And the tables, like minimum, were like $25. And I'm like, dude, there's no $10 to $15 tables anywhere. And then they had like just enough tables open that they were all packed. Like it was a real it seemed like it was going to be a hard scenario to have like a winter weekend, you know? And so one of my buddies, luckily, was betting like an idiot because he kind of going on a little bit of a luck. Well, first he went down.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went up. And then we all started kind of getting in the, hey, we're feeling it. Like, I was up $100 or $200 and he's up like $500 to $1,000. And so now we're like kind of, all right, well, these $25 tables don't seem like such a big deal anymore. And now we're up like, and then we go, hey man, if this is $25 minimum anyways, let's go check out the high roller. Like, how bad can it be? Go in there. It was $100 minimum.
Yeah, of course. Why?
And we're
you
like,
thought it was gonna be the same.
I don't know. We had some IPAs in us, and we're like, well, let's just like, we're up $500. Let's just throw down. And we started winning. And by the end of the weekend, me and my buddy Harry were both up $3,000.
Yeah,
good weekend.
Remember you told me this?
Yeah, and not on the podcast.
No, you're not on the podcast. What did I tell you?
What?
You told me how much you won
Yeah.
and how much you're up, and I said, how much were you betting?
Yeah.
I already knew you were betting a lot because gambling
Yeah.
I know a lot about it, and I was like, there's no way you won that much betting 5, 10, 25. Like, you had to be.
You know how much my buddy who was
50
betting
to
like an
100.
idiot was up?
I guessed. Remember, I guess you were betting 100 and he was
Yeah.
betting 500.
Yeah, and he went
per hand.
He went home up $24,000.
Yeah, you told me you won. You told me you won $3,000 and he won 20, whatever. And
Yeah.
I guess I said you were probably betting 100 hand. He was betting 500. And just because statistically you can't win at blackjack at a certain point above that, you know. That's why when people are like, this guy won $1 million at the blackjack table, I'm like, yeah, he was probably
He was
betting
betting like an idiot.
10,000 a hand or something, you know,
Yeah.
like that's how you do that, or maybe more, you know.
But I wanted to talk about the comedy show because it's been a long time since I've done casino gigs.
Hire me for all your gambling advice too.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
fight
yeah.
you on that.
And first of all, I forgot that it's like it's a different crowd because they're not comedy fans. Like they're just at a casino and saw the advertisement and went, oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And they're not. It's like kind of like a cruise ship gig too because they're not from anywhere singular. Man, I'm really gassy.
Yeah, you are very gassy.
Man,
you can't even talk.
I'm really fighting air down here. So they, like it takes them a little while to like the opener can even go out and do great, and then I go up and I gotta rewarm them up because they're like, oh, there's another guy. Oh, we thought we were gonna get to go back to the casino, and then my first bit or two is like just pulling teeth, and then finally you kind of get them on board, and then you have a good time, But my gigs in general, I have noticed, and I've heard a lot of comics talking about this. Have you noticed this? That because of the TikTok algorithms and all the crowd work people are posting, and Luis was asking us about Matt Rife before we started recording, and I'm super happy for Matt, and I didn't watch his special, but I don't care about whatever people are gossiping about now or having a problem with. It doesn't matter to me. But I do think that because there's so many people who are not comedy fans that are consuming comedy through social media, that they think that crowd exchange is how comedy shows are supposed to go. Because I do notice, and it was even more obvious in the casino gig, because those aren't definitely, there's no one in the room that's like a comedy regular, so they know how to behave. It was all people who just kind of fringe experience comedy, and where they're experiencing is on Facebook videos of just people yelling shit out at shows.
Yeah, no, it's clearly happening. It's not. It's not like a myth. People are saying, like, every show I do, there's people yelling out more. They want to participate. They think, oh, I've never been a comedy show. I'm not supposed to do this. And it's not just Matt Rife. Like every comic puts out crowd work shit because they either don't.
He's just the poster boy for it because he's the one who got it to work for him the most.
Yeah, but everybody does it. Every comic does it. Whether you do comics that you like and don't like, whatever. And it's fucking annoying. And then people think they're helping or some shit. But then comics keep putting it out because it's like, oh, this is what's working now. But I would say it's probably at the end of working, because that's how cycles work in comedy is whatever's working and makes somebody famous, it makes one or two people famous, and then that's it.
And then so it's an oversaturation, and we move on to the next
we already
thing.
have the people that are famous, Matt Rife, and I don't know who else is doing crowd work together.
And we already talked about Ian Bagg. He's capturing the moment in time, but it's who he is. He's been doing it forever.
Also, Ian Baggs is really good. I haven't, other than Ian Baggs, and I'm talking about every comic out there, I never see crowd work. Matt Rives, but then I'm like, man, fucking great. Like, I've done as good or better than every crowd work I've seen other than Ian Bagg. I'm just like, this is whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This is the last one.
Okay, I don't care. I'm just like, whatever, I know people are like upset about Matt Rife and his special. I don't give a shit. I didn't watch his special. Unfortunately, I've watched a lot of Pete Holmes' special.
His new one?
Remember we were getting tacos, and we talked about it. He was on the Disney Channel promoting I'm Not For Everyone. It makes him sound like he's like Andrew Dice Clay. Like he's the most vanilla. He's like, super religious.
Well, does he address that in the special? Is it like a
I didn't watch the whole special. This is what happened. Because I fucking said his name on this fucking podcast. My phone heard it or something.
No.
It must have, because all of a sudden, like Matt Rife, Pete Holmes clips are popping up. And there's one, and his hair's really long. He's got a jean jacket on.
Dolly Parton.
He's trying to go for some new look or something. And it's like, hey, the thing about atheists is they supposedly don't believe in nothing. But then people that believe in God, that's something. But then you're saying, but where do you go after you die? And then you go nowhere. And they go, that sounds like a lot like, dude, I'm not saying it exactly, but this is kind of how the bit goes.
I saw that bit.
And then the people are like, woo! Yeah, but you go to church, so you don't count. Yeah. So they go, woo! And I'm watching it, and the logic behind it is so flawed, what he's saying.
I was going to agree with you, by the way.
Oh, yeah, good. You chime in. And then it's very flawed, the logic. It's also not funny, and you can tell the crowd was like, oh, we're behind this guy. And I was watching the bit, and I was like, oh, God, I'm not a fan of his. In many ways.
You know who would be a great guest on the podcast on this subject?
Who?
The pastor of my church.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Pete Holmes. I was like, have him on. We can talk about it, yeah.
No, the pastor of my church.
We can talk about when Pete Holmes was a complete cunt to me.
I want to hear that story.
I've never said that on the podcast?
No.
Okay. So then I saw that bit, and I was like, oh, God, why is this guy on my feed? And then I was on the road with Amos Gill. and we were just talking about bits, and I was like, have you seen this fucking, this, you know, and then I showed it to him, and by showing it to him, I got more of his bits in my feed, and I was like, fuck, I've seen his whole goddamn special by now. And I'm like, get out of my feed, Pete Holmes. Stay off my lawn.
Well, you know, he tried to tell you he's not for everybody.
Yeah, he did. He's not for everyone, and clearly I'm not one of them. So
so I know that bit you're talking about, and it's not.
Yeah.
The bit itself is not like
he was on Epstein's island.
Maybe,
I don't know.
The bit itself, you know, it gets a laugh, and it's. I appreciate what he's trying to do with that.
Want to play it?
But
just so you can say how lame
it
is.
But wait. I want to tell you I'm on the right train of thought on this.
Sorry.
I agree with you that I don't think the analogy lines up correctly.
No.
It's like
not at all.
He delivers it pretty well where everyone goes, "Oh, got him." But when I watched it 2 or 3 times because people were sharing
he's
it.
He's very capable. When his delivery, his time, everything, nothing's wrong with that. Like he's a good comedian in the sense of like he knows how to tell jokes, but the logic of it is so fun, and it's almost like akin to like a Carlos Mencia joke back in the day, not the ones he stole, where he's just like, yeah, I said it, and I'll say it again. And you're like, bro, you didn't say shit.
It was a little bit of a straw man argument too, because there's a lot of obviously people who don't believe in God and believe that the earth came from nothing. I get that, but the analogy he was making didn't really sound like what people say.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
I've never heard anyone say
the way he said it.
Like, I'm like,
he was bending their words to fit his.
You're doing good.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Yeah, the straw man. Yeah,
to fit his sleight of phrase or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because most people that don't like me, I don't go to church. I don't believe in God. I don't believe I never talk about. Other than this podcast I have, but outside of this podcast, whatever, I'm like, let me tell you another thing about atheism and believing. I'm like, I don't just give a shit. I don't care. People can do whatever they want. I mean, I have a lot of opinions on organized religion as a whole, but not in specific individual cases. You know
what would it take for you to believe in God?
Nothing. Nothing could make me believe in God. Because it's ridiculous.
Why? Why is it ridiculous?
Because what is the proof? I'm a scientist. You got to remember, like, what's the proof that there's God? And then you go, don't tell me faith, because I'll fucking bust all these beers open right now. You know who said, and I don't know if he made it up, and maybe, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, and I don't know if he's made it up himself, meaning he came up with it, but Ricky Gervais was on Stephen Colbert, and, dude, I'm just going to find it. You keep talking, because I'm just going to let him say it, you know? But I don't know. What's the proof that there's God? This wasn't even a subject that we were supposed to do today. We're supposed to talk about Udonis Haslem and highlight.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the right time for me to tackle this. I'm not even going to be the best advocate for myself.
I'm not like, I sound like I'm a little bit more hostile about it. Like, I'm open to you telling me something, but I don't.
Well, I don't know if faith is an oversimplification.
Turn that down.
Oh, that sounds like
that's Ricky Gervais.
Nothing. I want to believe it.
Yeah. Faith is an oversimplification? What do you mean?
I don't think that you should just say blind. I think what it sounds like you're saying is don't tell me blind faith. And I don't know if I can give you proof. And I think some people would tell you that there's proof in the Bible, that there's proof in things they've seen in their life. But I can just tell you that I choose to believe that there's something bigger than me out there. And I think that just like you were talking about earlier with other topics we were talking about, I don't think there's one right answer. I think that you have to believe that science is real, but also that there could be something bigger than us.
Why do you have to believe that?
Because I think that makes the most sense to me.
God damn it. Ricky Gervais does a good job of explaining. This is another one that he, like, I'll just do this one. Here, there you go.
Technically, I'm an agnostic atheist, technically. By
the way, I'm not even a huge Ricky Gervais fan, but I like to.
No one knows whether there's a God. So everyone's technically agnostic. We don't know.
That's true.
So
that's true.
An agnostic atheist is someone who doesn't know there's a God or not, as no one does.
So you're not convicted of your atheism?
Well, I am.
Sure.
No, I am, because atheism is only rejecting the claim that there is a God. Atheism isn't a belief system. Atheism. So this is atheism in a nutshell. You say there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no. I say I don't believe you then. So you believe in one God, I assume.
In 3 persons, but go ahead.
Okay, so you believe... Okay. So, but there are about 3,000 to choose from that have been, people who believe in...
I've done some reading, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So basically, you believe in... You deny one less God than I do. You don't believe in 2,999 gods.
There you go. I like that one.
That's not the one. I don't believe in just one more.
That's not the one I'm searching for.
No, that's the end of it?
That's not the one I'm searching for. God damn it. Yeah.
Please don't say God damn it.
This is it. Here you go. This is the one.
I think this is my favorite beer.
It's constantly proved all the time. You see, if we take something like any fiction, in any holy book, in any other fiction, and destroyed it, okay, in 1,000 years' time, that wouldn't come back just as it was. Whereas if we took every science book, right, and every fact, and destroyed them all, in 1,000 years, they'd all be back, because all the same tests would be the same result.
That's good. That's really good.
Okay, but...
that's the best way I can put it from a science perspective when I look at it.
But religion isn't the denying of science.
Yeah, it's a big part of it is.
I mean, not for me.
Yeah, but you didn't fucking make the religions.
Just
because you have your own version of religions. I'm talking about
But when you say you don't believe in a God, and that could be like you just said, there's 1,000 gods, whatever God you believe in or makes sense to you or whatever. Because of things I've experienced in my life, because of things I've felt in my life, whatever, it's harder for me to believe that there is not something bigger than me in this world.
Why?
Because it's hard for me to believe. I mean, I believe all the science, sure. The God, like, I don't deny any science because of religion. I don't think God, doesn't have precipitation and evaporation and all the fucking things that make the world tick.
But that's you. But a lot of people believe in creationism and intelligent design, and that's a religious thing.
Okay,
and flat Earth, now that I've been diving as well, is a very religious thing. Like all this.
But I'm not telling you to subscribe to the craziest version of something. I'm just telling you that if you felt something stir in you ever that made you think that there was something bigger than just we appear and we disappear.
Yeah, but that's what I believe. And again, it's like So
do you believe there's an afterlife?
I'm not saying no, I don't. And so I believe that. Okay, so I don't believe that what you're saying when you're saying like, oh, science and religion can't exist together. I mean, technically they can exist together, but the denial of science, the denial of like things that are people saying they're hoaxes that aren't real, that they're intelligent design and creationism and all that stuff, that's all based on religion, all of it.
All right. Well, we're talking about two different things.
I know, but that's you can't have one without the other. Like if you got rid of religion, you wouldn't have the denial of that.
What are you talking about? It's the same. It's the tit for tat. It's the exact same thing you were talking about with conspiracy theories, where you were like, "There's some, the planes hit the towers, but there's guys that take it even further and say there's crazy shit." Like there can be a God, and there doesn't have to be. You don't have to believe anything more than.
But it fucks our planet up. Religion fucks our planet up.
Yeah, well,
if you made a list of all
that's a different argument. There's a lot of bad shit about religion, a ton of it.
Most of it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to denounce all religion.
I'm not denouncing it.
I said you don't believe in any possibility there could be a God.
This is my personal belief. I'm not telling people they'd have to believe that.
Yeah.
I'd like them to, but I'm not demanding they do. And with religion, people demand that they look at not you, but the fanatical people of religion, which there's millions of them on this planet, believe that you have to look at life the way they look at it, or else you deserve to die in some cases, or not, or change. And that's fucked up to me. And so you make this long list of like all the good things that religion has done. What, bake sales and maybe a couple people that were sponsored in immigration or something. Great. Then the bad list is fucking massive. Look what's going on in fucking Middle East right now. It's massive, dude.
Yeah, that's the bad side.
Big up massive. By the way, Pete Holmes sucks. I think that was the point of this conversation. We got down into the fucking...
What was the thing he did that was cunty to you?
I guess I'll say it. I don't care. You always try to hold back on those podcasts. I'm going to show you how it's done.
I'm drunk tonight.
I'm going to show you how it's done.
Look, here's my barometer. If it's something the guy, I don't like to just like take people down for no reason. But if it's something that actually happened and it's like,
yeah, it happened.
Yeah, so then I think that's okay to tell that story.
My problem with it, here's the thing about Pete Holmes. I'm talking about him way more than he's ever talked about me. And if he walked in this room now, he might not even remember meeting me. But I remember meeting him, you know? And when I'm...
So what happened?
When I met him, I was hosting at the Improv, and it was starting to feature too, right?
So you're a wee lad.
And my problem with him is the other times that I've interacted with him after that, I just feel like he's a very artificial, fake person, you know? And he is contrarian. He's taking this stand, but in like this positive way. Like, I just feel like he's this fake positive person that acts like he's a nice guy, and I don't believe he is. I think he's like probably a really angry, bitter person, similar to me, but I at least let that out and let people know that, you know? But, so I was like hosting and featuring at the Improv. Gideon was manager.
Wow, that is a long time ago.
Yeah. He was featuring, and Aziz Ansari was the headliner. So that's how long ago it was. Aziz Ansari was still doing clubs. And Funny People was about to come out.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that movie.
Because part of my introduction for Aziz Ansari was for Funny People.
Okay.
You know, like, I remember that. And that was probably near the end of where Aziz was doing clubs. You know, I guess maybe he's back in them now to some degree, but he still does theaters and things. So. And Pete Holmes came in there. And if you worked the Miami Improv, you remember this. People would come from LA specifically, sometimes New York, but mainly LA, and they'd be like, yeah, I heard this club sucks. I heard this is the worst club. How many times did you hear that? Oh, yeah. And look, I live in LA, and I'll try to defend LA comedy scene and stuff, but there's a lot of weak motherfuckers out here that are like afraid to go on the road and do shit.
I used to always be like, oh, it sucks if you're a bad comic. If you're a good comic, you get standing ovations.
Yeah. Now they didn't say that, but the reason I bring that up is Miami had this. What was that? Did you just fart?
I myself had to look up.
Oh, you looked up. You just farted?
No, it was Dave.
Jesus Christ!
I just had to look up from what I was
doing
doing.
The thing in the past. You got to pour it right, dude.
That might have been a problem.
Yeah. So the reason I bring up the Miami thing is Miami, the comedy scene was looked at as like this. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, people.
No one's ever gonna come out of here.
People shit on us a lot.
No one's gonna ever come out of here.
A lot of people came out of there.
Yeah, no one's ever gonna. Well, I'm not saying it's the best comedy scene in the country even to this day, but there's a lot of us.
That moment of time, we had some staying power.
Dude, I can do you a list of people that have done late night television shows. It's like it's fine. We're and good comics, and I've been in New York enough and LA enough to see that there's good and bad comics from every place. It doesn't matter where you're from, right? So I say that because I feel like sometimes comics would come in there and big time it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, and at that point I was like, I was talking to some other comics. I was maybe doing some road work and stuff. And I'm like, don't talk to me like and also I'm an adult. I got into this when I was older.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. I'm not 20. I'm not a 19-year-old kid.
I'm not here like begging for your approval.
Yeah. So Pete Holmes comes in. And then Aziz, and then we're starting the show Thursday night. You do one show Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday.
Oh, for a while we did 3 Saturday.
Whatever, maybe it was 3 then. And we do the set, we do the show, and goes good. I have a good set, whatever. Say goodbye, whatever. All right, go home, go to work the next day. Come show up at the club, and Pete Holmes comes in first, and he goes, "Hey, what's up?" He goes, "So I just wanted to let you know that we decided that you should be allowed to work the rest of the weekend." This is the feature. And if you don't know, and those of you out there that aren't comedians and don't know about this, even if this is something that is true, that there was some conversation about keeping me or not keeping me, the feature act surely is not the fucking person that's going to tell you this.
Yeah.
It's going to be the manager of the club, because there's going to be a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. And if the headliner doesn't like you or something like that, But it was just if I wish I would have recorded it, because it was so fucking smuggy in this. And I was like, and I go, what? I go, what do you mean? Like, did I do something? No. You were really good last night. But, we were thinking to be a 2-man show. And then you were here last night. So I told Aziz, hey, let's see what he's got. Give him a shot. And then you did good. And then we had a discussion today with the manager or whatever. And I was like, I go, all right, dude, whatever. Yeah. And then he patted me on the back.
Yeah, way to go, kid.
Yeah, like that. And I was like, I will fucking punch you in the face, And I wanted to say something to him, like, go fuck yourself. Like, what is this shit, But I didn't say anything. I was just nice because I wanted to work the weekend.
Was that the end of it?
He was just like that the rest of the weekend. Like, hey, good. By the way, he's a much better comic now than nothing to fucking write home about back then. He had plenty of sets that I was doing better. And so he'd be like, hey, man, if you ever make it out to LA, you'll see how it is. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, And here's the thing, though, is I kind of just let that go when that, like, I just kind of let it go. And then it was like, I every time after that, I would see him and, like, I'd be with Jim Jeffries. Hey, you know my friend Forrest? No, never met before. That's fine. Maybe you don't remember me. It was like a couple years ago. But just like, hey, whatever. And then, like, there was a time I was at backstage at Oddball, and he was sitting there with Conan O'Brien. I'd already done Conan's show, and I went up to say hi to Conan because I'd done a show. And then he, like, looked at me every time I've interacted with him, it's just smuggy, swarmy, fake bullshit, and then disguised by this fucking...
I'm the nice guy.
Yeah, evil shit. But that always stuck with me where I was like, I would never in a million years do that to another fucking comic and act like that. And he was really kind of trying to swing his dick around in big time. And I was like, fuck you, dude.
Do you think any of that's just his own insecurities, though? Or do you think he's...
I don't know. Yeah. But would you ever do that to a comic? Like
me?
Let's say that was a real conversation him and Aziz had. If you were the feature, would you come and be like, hey, buddy?
No.
Yeah, it's dick move, you know? And just that, between that and Pauly Short, those are the two guys that have given me the two dick moves. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pauly Short snapped me on the cheek like that. Said, go get him, kid. Went like that. He can't. I didn't tell you that story. We'll burn all the bridges. I don't care. I don't fucking. So we were doing the 420 comedy show. This is fun. Do all these clips. 420 comedy. We're doing the 420 comedy show. You remember that?
Smacked you in the face.
Remember the 420 comedy show? Like it was like me, Oni Perez.
Yeah.
And it was a weed themed comedy show, and the fucking shit would sell out.
Yeah.
Stoners.
Because this was before like Facebook pages and stuff.
People were like,
you
weed.
guys just figured out we could market a show.
It was Gideon's idea initially, to be fair, in the same good, but and then we ran with it and did stuff. But we're at Fort Lauderdale Improv. Pauly Shore's doing either like Friday through Sunday or Thursday or Sunday. And we were on Wednesday or Thursday. It was the day before he started, but he had flew in early and he's at the bar, so you're not inside the showroom. And I think one of the managers said, "Hey, do you want to go do a set on the show?" And we gladly have him do a set on the show. Obviously, sure, that'd be fucking fun. And he goes, "Nah, I'm cool, I'm good." And so John Vargas is up there hosting the show. And he walks in down that little hallway and he sees it's sold out and he goes, "Oh yeah, I want to go up." Like he's changed his mind.
Yeah. Which is fair.
Fine. Still fine.
Yeah.
I'm still fine with this. Cool. Let's have Pauly Shore go. And I go, yeah. And I think it was like Greg DiTullio. Remember, like we didn't want to have him on the show.
I forgot about that
I don't know if he does comedy anymore. Like nothing against him, but he just wasn't part of our crew. And then Renee asked to put him on the show.
He was more like an actor.
Yeah, Renee asked to put him on the show. We're like, fine. And I go, yeah, this guy's going up next. He's going to do like 10 minutes or whatever, and we'll put you up after. He goes, no, I want to go up like next. And I'm like, yeah, but the host is on stage. He goes, yeah, but just pass him a note or something. Because he had to go somewhere. I was like, so of course we have to do it. He's the fucking headliner for the club that week. You know, we're fucking piss ants. So someone hands John Vargas a note in the middle of the set, like in the middle of one of his jokes too. And he goes, oh, okay, all right. And then he does a set and he goes, Pauly Shore, and the place goes fucking crazy. And they're like super excited. I'm like, cool. And then Greg DiTullio was like, I don't want to go up out because he wasn't like, he didn't do as much comedy as he didn't want to go up after Pauly Shore. I go, I'll go up after Pauly. Who gives a fuck? It's Pauly Shore.
Yeah, you got it.
It's not fucking George Carlin. All right. And so I'm waiting by the right up on the side by the stage for him to come up. He has a good set. Everyone's super happy to see him. And I'm like, cool. He was on our show. You know? And he walking on stage and he goes over to me and he just smacks him in the cheek like he goes, have a good time, kid.
Yeah, we did that out of love. Come on.
Dude, you don't touch him.
Come on, man.
He goes like that, have a good time, kid. And I was like, fuck you, dude. But I just want to say, to be fair, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I met John Cleese at Jim's house, and I had dinner with him the whole night, and he really took a shine to me and liked me. And at the end of the night, he smacked me in the cheek, and he goes, I like this kid. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, John Cleese.
That's such an honor.
So I guess I don't really hate Pauly Shore, but that night I was like, don't touch my fucking face.
Well, I got to stick up for Pauly and say that I
think overall he's probably a nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
My first interaction with Pauly was very negative, and to the point where I was like, fuck this. You know me, I don't get this way about it. I was like, fuck this guy. But I'm sure it was just a
What did he do? He didn't call you a weasel?
No.
I've
never told the story publicly.
Weasel's not doing any drops, dude.
I don't think it was Pauly's fault.
We're dropping fucking gold. We're way over the fourth quarter.
This is going to be a really good episode.
No one's going to listen to it, so it's fine.
So I was pretty green in comedy. It was those Miami Improv days. And I'm sitting in my day job at the car dealership. And I get my
go get him, kid.
Nokia cell phone rings. And I pick it up and he goes, Dave Williamson. And I go, yeah. He goes, it's Pauly Shore. And I go, hey, Pauly Shore.
Did you know him?
No. Never met him in my life. And he goes, the Improv gave me your number. I need an opener or an FAU tonight, buddy. Can you open up for me? And I go, what time, Pauly Shore? He's like, 7:30. And I'm like, all right, I'll be there. So I go to FIU that night, and I open up for Pauly Shore.
Yep.
And I I didn't know what I was walking into, but it ended up being like Panther Prowl. It was like a gazillion people, And I'm like, holy shit. And they're like, can you do 25 minutes? And I'm like, no, but I'll try.
That was like early on.
Yeah. And so then they had me write my address down on a piece of paper and give it to them or whatever. So I went out and
why?
To get paid.
Oh, okay.
So I crushed, right?
Yeah.
And so then
bro.
Yeah, and then take
that weasel.
No, he did great too. It was fun. It was an awesome experience.
Sure.
So then, but I never got paid, and I had no way of. I didn't know how to contact Paul. I wasn't gonna call Pauly about it. So I hit up the Improv. And the Improv was like, "Oh, they were supposed to pay you. We just gave him your number." And I'm like, "Well," I was like, "Whatever."
Yeah, but you're the Improv. Contact him. You have his fucking number, his agent's number.
So I just let it go. I forgot about it. So then, just by happenstance. A year later or something.
Why did you look up when he said happenstance?
I don't know that one.
Did I use that? Did I use that
you
right?
You did, but Louise looked up like you didn't use it, right?
I was questioning myself.
Haphazardly.
Haphazardly. So I just happened to get paired up to middle for Pauly a year later at the Miami Improv, right?
Yeah.
And I think because of that experience, I think he probably is used to people fanboying out,
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna show. I need the job. I'm just gonna show up and be professional. I'm not gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
And so I never brought it up. I didn't really talk to Pauly. I just introduced myself, and I sat out the bar. And then I was having really good sets. And by the second night, he was like, "Hey, buddy, you're really funny." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Pauly. Appreciate it, man." And he's like, "You would be really good out in La Jolla, and our club in La Jolla." I'm like, "Oh, that'd be cool, man. Thanks." And I think he liked me because I was being funny, and I was also just he didn't remember he met me before,
Yeah.
And so then after the weekend was fine, and then a week or two later, I got a phone call from Captain Brian, and I answer the phone. And I go, "Hello," and he goes, "Whose dick did you suck?" And I go, "What?" And he's like, "Whose this is a Boston accent, by the way. Whose dick did you suck?" And I go, "I don't know what you're talking about." He goes, "Pauly Shore just called me and said that he wants you to open for him on New Year's Eve for the weekend at Off the Hook Comedy Club."
You have to suck dick to do that?
I don't know, apparently, yeah. And I go, "Oh, well, I didn't suck his dick, but I just worked with him and we got along, and yeah, I did a good job, whatever."
Oh, Pauly Shore, I sucked his dick.
It's called.
Yeah.
Oh,
you would have just
mentioned. Yeah, I did a really good job.
I did. Got little ears on it.
So then I worked with him then, and
Wheezy?
yeah, we got along, and then I did Louisville with him, and a couple other weeks.
And then he did your thing. He did your Freightliner video.
Yeah, when I first moved out here, he did a
Pauly, good guy.
Good guy, that Pauly.
Yeah, I shouldn't have lumped him with I shouldn't have lumped him with Pete Holmes. I'm sorry.
I actually had
Pete Holmes has no redeeming quality.
I hadn't seen him in years and years because he was living in Vegas during the pandemic, and I hadn't been to the Comedy Store in a long time, and hadn't seen him in years. And I just ran into him in Austin at the Comedy Mothership, and I wanted to tell him who I was because I didn't want to just assume he'd remember
money,
me.
Dude, from FIU.
No, bro, I'll never tell that to
with
him.
My $150.
No.
Ooh, if I ever see him with you, I'm gonna be like, "You didn't pay this guy."
No, you better not, dude.
I will.
No,
You know how many
man.
times you've embarrassed me?
What do you?
You had a guy fight me in Montana.
Yeah, but
for
that's
his
a
girlfriend.
different kind of embarrassment, and my heart was in the right place.
No, it wasn't. A guy a minor with hands of stone was about to beat my face in. You don't think I can embarrass you in front of Pauly Shore?
No, but you would damage a relationship.
You better fucking hope that I never see you with Pauly Shore.
I'll kill you.
By the way,
I love Pauly. I would never want Pauly to think that I think anything other than that I love him.
Here's what I've decided. I'm going to use this podcast as therapy.
Yeah,
and,
you should.
I'm letting go of those feelings for Pete Holmes now because I don't want to talk about him anymore. He doesn't talk about me, so why should I talk about it? I'm letting go of that.
Yeah.
His special. Don't watch his specials.
I think if Pete knew that.
Save your time.
I think that probably the way he has behaved towards you has more to do with him than what he thinks of you. And I think that if he heard you
100%, yeah.
And I think if he heard you express that, I think he would feel bad about it and want to sincerely apologize.
I don't think he has any ill will towards me.
I think we should do one more.
Personally, I don't think so at all. And you want me to say one positive thing about Pete Holmes?
Yeah.
I saw him in the roast battle, JFL, going against Blake Griffin.
The basketball player?
Yeah, and it was a good roast battle, and he was like Evil Pete is like some character thing, and it was very funny. And I remember watching him and be like, I'm not enjoying that. I'm liking this. So there you go. There's something nice about it. I enjoyed watching him in the roast battle. JFL was fun.
Can we workshop something real quick?
No.
I think you're gonna like this.
Okay.
We've been toying with ideas of how to monetize the podcast, and we've
get listeners,
and we've brought up Patreon. Mm-hmm. I will say, I know that's extra work, and I know that we don't want to make our listeners pay, but I do think.
Stop burping.
I'm sorry, I'm trying.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I do think
I like IPAs. Just the burps, dude. You do think what? Spit it out.
I think Patreon Dave could be a whole new level of Dave.
What's that?
Because I think behind a paywall, I think
people
some
can
of these,
record it and put it out there.
if they want to go through that trouble to put some of the stuff out there,
That's
I'd be
not
okay
trouble,
with it.
dude. Just because you don't know how to do it, Louis. How easy would it be to put a clip out from Patreon?
I don't like just float. I don't just like floating stuff out there.
Just
but
screens, just record screen on phone. I can do it. I'm hopeless.
I'm all for it. I'm just telling you. I think Patreon Dave will be a whole new level of Dave.
I don't know if people are going to pay for Patreon for this. We're trying to get more listeners.
All right, here's a poll. Would you spend a couple bucks a month?
We got to end this episode
to support Forrest and I doing this in our matching yellow shirts.
Well, can you give the people a little bit of a tease of what this version of Dave would do?
Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
I think tonight's
dick out. I mean, I'm already.
I think tonight's episode's a pretty good little.
You haven't said anything.
Hiddly boop.
You didn't say anything. You just told me that you don't even care if Pauly Shore pays you for the gig he owes you money for.
He's such a sweet guy.
Motherfucker's rich. Get that money.
So sweet.
Got that Comedy Store money, bro. Get it.
Bruh.
How much do you think you owed for the gig?
No idea. Well, at the time, I was probably thinking like...
Just throw a number out.
At the time, I probably thought like, oh, I'll probably get paid $100 for this or something, right? But knowing what I know now, I mean, there had to be 5,000 people at the gig. It was a college gig, so he probably got paid like $50,000 for that.
Yeah, he got paid between 10 and 50,000. Who knows? But he got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, and it was me, and it was me and one other local guy. I don't remember if it was John Vargas or Daniel Reskin or somebody, but.
All right, cool. So let's say $200. I'm gonna DM him and say, "You owe my boy some money with interest."
He's paid me back with friendship.
$275. Come on, you don't even have his number in your phone.
I do.
Okay, let's call him.
No,
okay.
It's rude.
Patreon. Well, we'll see what people say. We're way over, aren't we?
No, if we end right now, we're good.
Oh, really?
We
seem like we just went on forever.
That'd be a good Patreon. We play cell phone roulette.
What's cell phone roulette? I mean, I understand but how does it work?
I don't know what to figure it out, but I go through the contacts in your.
Let's play a game. I don't have the rules. It sounds like you would just go like that and go stop and hit a.
I would go through the contacts in your phone. You go through the contacts in my phone, and if you have the balls, because I'm sure we have famous people in both our phones.
You can call anyone on my phone. I don't care. This is a game
there's people on my phone that I would be embarrassed if you called them, and because they're famous people. So I don't want to just
I have famous people on my phone, but I'm not going to be embarrassed if you call them. Because I would just explain it later and be like, yeah, this guy got my phone and called you. He's a dickhead. Go to the tape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should play the game.
Who's famous in your phone?
I got a couple NFL guys.
They're not going to care if you call them. They're not going to pick up.
Well, it could damage.
None of these people are going to pick up, dude. That's the thing.
Yeah, and then you're going to leave a message like, hey, this is Dave. I'm drunk on IPAs right now. Bleh. And then these people, and then they never have any hope of being buddies.
It sounds like Dave. Sounds like Dave's tying one on.
All right, let's see.
I feel like the most famous person you have on your phone is Bert Kreischer.
Probably these days.
Yeah, these days. Yeah, right now he's very famous. I have Jay Leno's number on my phone, but he won't pick up.
Mm-hmm.
You leave a message, he calls back for another number.
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett's more famous than Bert Kreischer? No.
I'm going to be at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club next week, December 4th to 9th, I believe it is, at the MGM.
That's right. I'm going to be
I'm headlining.
We're going to hang out, right?
Let's hang, bro. Oh, let's go gambling. Oh, no, you can't gamble. I forgot.
My buddies will be there from Florida. You can gamble with them. Brian Joseph.
Remember, Brian? I know Brian Joseph.
Charlie Joseph. You don't know Chris Liptak, I don't think, but he'll be there as well. And I'll be there with Amos Gill and Jim Jeffries at the Mirage. Go on Friday and Saturday, December, 7th and 8th or 8th and 9th? 8th and 9th.
Yeah, I'll be there. Those are those.
Come out and see us, bro.
Let's go.
We're at 10 o'clock. We're late. You just come by and hang anyways. I think Jimmy O Yang's going to be out there and some people. There's going to be a whole bunch of people out there.
We're gonna have a blast.
We're going to party, bro. Party.
Pour some beer. You want some more of this one?
And then I'll be at the Comedy Cellar in January after we do the Sunshine Comedy Festival in St. Petersburg.
Ooh.
January 11th through 14th. I'll be there the week after that at the Comedy Cellar. Go to foreshot.net. Who was more famous in your phone?
I don't know. I gave up. December 4th to 10th, I'll be at the Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at MGM Grand. And then the 12th through the 17th, I'll be in Winnipeg, Canada at Rumors Comedy Club, one of my favorite comedy clubs in the world.
Tell them to book me.
I will. December 27th, I will be in the Orlando Improv, one night only.
Good club. Crystal, we love her.
And then January, I'm going to be at the Sunshine Comedy Festival with Forrest, the Mermen podcast. We're still deciding whether Luis is going to be there or not.
Fair enough.
He might be living in Florida by then.
Yeah, you can just drive up.
You want more beer?
No, I'm drinking Wawa. I'm drinking Wawa now.
You want a little more of this one, Luis?
I'm all right.
Thanks for listening.
Sure, this is a good one.
All right, fine.
Our sponsors, Comedy Records, and Tito's Vodka.
Tito's Vodka. And Chick-fil-A. Woohoo!
That was the tune you were singing at the beginning. We're done, right?
We're done. We did our plugs.
All right, make sure all the clips are of Pete Holmes.
For they are the mermen.